a young, budding programmer, the prospect of dating can be a challenge, and for some people it can even drive them crazy, like Tom over here. Let's look at the current apps that just don't cut it. What's out there right now? For starters, there's Yelp. But of course, Yelp doesn't give you events, it only gives you places. And it doesn't help you plan anything, it only gives you the event that you asked for. NiftyDateIdeas.com only really gives you general ideas like, oh, go swimming, try this, try that. Doesn't give you concrete places to go, and still doesn't plan. Urban Daddy, aimed at the nightlife crowd, really only gives you bars and nightclubs, and only gives you one event once again. It does not plan. And Google, who really wants to do that? It's cumbersome, boring, annoying, and still does not plan your date. So let's face it, planning a successful date is challenging. As I just showed, we must visit various websites for different ideas. And what happens when all that work you spent planning and the date didn't go the way you expected? And what happens if you didn't bring enough money and your date has to cover you? That's embarrassing. So what's the solution? That's where we come in with DateMate. Okay, so this is our app, DateMate. First thing you're going to want to do is press the Plan New Date button, which gives you the options of selecting the day and the starting time of your date. So say I want to have a date today at 7 p.m., which is the default. Right on. Now I'm feeling good about this date, so I'm going to spend maximum of $70. And I have a car, so I'm going to drive. Next, it brings you to the activities page where you can select the different types of activities that you want during your date. So say I wanted 2 activities, easy done, but I think 3 is perfect for today. So first I'm going to say I want a dinner, movie, and dessert, because that just feels good. You can also select other things like sports, outdoors, concerts, all sorts of stuff. So plan the date. Now it brings you to the date results page, where you can select from 5 different dates. So say, oh, I love Celia's, I'm a regular there, I'm going to take her there. And I love Honeyberry, so I like this date. But I don't really want to see that movie, so I can even select to change that single event until it's the movie that I want to see. Oh, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Select date. Now it brings you to the date page, which has an itinerary starting at 7 p.m. with enough time in between each event so that you can travel. It has a maps page where it shows you the different map locations between each event. And it even has a notes section where you can write anything you want to in the notes section about the date before, during, or after. So let's say this day went really well, and I'm going to title it Good, because it was a good date. And I'm even going to favorite it. It was one of my favorite dates. So now we can even go back to favorites and see, oh look, that was my good date on my favorites. And here are all my other good favorite dates. So say date 8 was a really good date. We can click on that date and it brings you back to the date page. On this day we walked down Solano, did all these things. And we can even look at the notes. Oh, it was the greatest time. Wow, I must have really had fun. You can also look at the history of all your dates, favorited or unfavorited. Just like that. If you're on the date and you want to check out your current date, you press the current date button. And say something changed and you were late to the movie and you completely missed it and you want to do something new right now. It generates a random date by pressing on the fly, a single event happening right now. Alright, let's go to Yogurtland. Actually, John's ice cream's better. Select date. It's 1:41 p.m. when I'm making this movie, so we're going to go there right now. So, easy flexibility on the fly. That's about all. What did we learn from you? Well, we learned pretty quickly that we were trying to fit way too much into the date planning section. And so we really tried to narrow it down and keep it simple, as you saw earlier. And the other thing we learned was to never assume that we got it right the first time. This happened on several elements of our design. What's next? Well, we want to get real data from the web. Right now it's all hand done. It's all real data, but done by ourselves. We want it to run on its own, using scrapers and APIs. And we want to make it social, include a Facebook element where people can share their dates. And we want to continue to make the app more fun. Just keep having it say fun things, etc. Summary: use DateMate to make your date great. Thanks a lot.